Welcome viewers and subscribers. Here are today's news headlines. Criminal posing as cabbies passengers abducted and robbed by imposters. Also today in the news, a human skull that found in the riverbed. Dallas residents wants to know if it belongs to his missing father. Also in today's news, farmer fisherman Philip Rose tells how he had ended up doing farming.
Listen me, I can DJ and keep the crowd alive. That's why me want me here car. Me no here play a hater. Calm down.
Now to the news. Hoodlums posing as taxi drivers and passengers have been preying on unsuspected commuters in the corporate area, abducting and relieving them of their money, phone and other valuables. One of the latest incidents saw a woman being held at knife point and abducted after she took a white plate taxi on Red Hills Road, St. Andrew. Her destination was halfway through, but she ended up in the Waltham Park area after being driven around for some time. The woman, Jane Brown, 26, said that after she got in the taxi, she immediately realized that something was wrong. A young lady was in the shotgun seat and a male passenger around the back with her. The driver rolled up the windows and then took a swift turn off the main road. When Brown shouted to be let out, the man, who appeared to be a passenger, attacked and pulled a knife at her. They took my phone, my card, and gave me some bruises. They drove me around for about 45 minutes before dropping me off in some alley in Waltham Park. It's traumatizing, Brown said. Superintendent of Police Aaron Fletcher, the commanding officer for St. Andrew North Police Division, said another such incident took place about a month ago. The three men have since been arrested and taken into police custody by detectives from the Halfway Tree Police Station, he said. Checks with the Constant Spring Police Station revealed that at least 5 such reports have been made in recent times. Fletcher says there seems to be a frequency in robberies recently. These criminals, they came in and they prey on the individuals within the space. We recently had a fatal shooting, which emanated from one such attempt to rob a lady. We are aware of the occurrences, but we are somewhat constrained in our ability to apprehend these persons. We have had to initiate and establish some strategies. Senior Superintendent of Police Jacqueline Combs, commanding officer for the St. Catherine Central Police Division, said that just last week a few persons were arrested for similar acts. We held on to a set about a week ago. There was a set of persons who were targeting some persons, but we held on to them. Meanwhile, Brown, in relating to her horrifying story, said that the passengers as well as the driver were wearing masks, and before she knew it, the male passenger in the back attacked her. He shoved his hand at my throat and started fisting me in my face. I started to scream. He took out a ratchet knife and aimed it towards my face. I lifted my hand to block it and it ended up cutting me on my hand. It was a tiny cut, but the blood frightened me, she recalled. Brown said that the men blindfolded her using a kerchief, tied her hands, and shoved my head down beside his leg. I heard him going through my bag. He took out my phone and my card and asked me for the passwords for both, threatening to put a hold through me if I give them the wrong password. They drove around for a bit. All this time I was crying, asked them where they're taking me, what they're going to do to me, begging them not to kill me. They eventually stopped and Brown peeked through the blindfolded and realized that they were at a gas station. The female at the front then exited the vehicle to use her bank card. They drove around again for some time. Then the male passenger pushed me out the vehicle with the blindfold still on and they drove away. I had intentions of at least getting the license plate number, but when they let me off, they anticipated that and the male passenger came around and sat in the trunk and used his feet to cover the plates as they drove away, she said. Skull found in riverbed. Dallas residents wants to know if it belongs to his missing father. It's been over 2 months since Brayton Thompson has seen his father, 60-year-old Gilbert Thompson of Plantain Walk, Dallas Castle, St. Andrew. Gilbert was last seen on August 24 during heavy rains brought by then Tropical Storm Laura. Brenton has been searching for remains as he feels his father has died. And on Friday, neighbors alerted him after finding a piece of skull along the riverbed, where they surmised Gilbert was washed away. They found a piece of skull in the riverbed on Friday. They don't know if it would be his skull or some other person's skull. Friday morning, somebody was passing near the riverbed and saw it and just contacted we. So we go upon the scene, go see it, and then we contacted the police, me and my sister, Branton said. When the persons came to the gate Friday morning and tell me I say, what? But I thought it was a whole complete skull, or the entire head. But when me see it, it's just a piece of a face, just the forehead part. The Thompson family then called the police, who collected the remains. Tests are now being done to determine whether it belongs to Gilbert, and the family is anxious. The partial skull was removed by House of Tranquility Funeral Home under the supervision of the St. Andrew Central Police. It was then photographed and sealed to avoid further contamination. Deputy Superintendent Percival Anderson, crime officer for St. Andrew Central Police Division, said that DNA samples will be collected from the skull. That's our standard procedure in dealing with matters like those. We'll have the pathologist look at it, and we will take the DNA samples from it. And we will also take DNA samples from the family member. From there, we'll do some DNA analysis, and then we will take it from there, Anderson said. Brenton said he was told that one of the investigators who came to retrieve the skull that it looks old, meaning that it may have been from a person who died some time ago. Notwithstanding this, Brenton said, we can't just say a long time thing because the river beat it and it lick up on stone and all of them thing there. Anything we go through that would have get battered. Me can't give up. Me never give up yet. If somebody call me and tell me them find some bones, me I go for it. Me I go for it because me want to find out. Me want for certain. That is what is going to bring the closure. If you know say, me find him skeleton and me can go put him down for rest, I would feel better than how me feel now. He said, without this, he says, he will not be able to move on. Me no know exactly which part him located. So, at this me there, my heart heavy at times and light at times. Until we find some remains, me can't put nothing behind me. It not settle, it just a go rest from me straight. It was not my day to die. Farmer fisherman tells how he ended up in farming. Philip Rose was preparing to head home to Treasure Beach from the Pedro Cays after spending about 3 months at the popular fishing spot located off Jamaica's south coast. It was the early 90s and Rose was eager to get back home as he had land transactions to take care of in his own community. Despite his needs to see the land transaction completed, Rose said he was owed a sum of money by persons at Pedro and was determined not to leave it. In the meantime, the boat on which he was due to leave was getting ready to head back to Treasure Beach. Rose said that his brother-in-law, Glenroy Mills, was the captain and they had a good relationship. He packed his belongings, clothing, fish and other supplies in the boat and gave Miles some money to take back to the mainland. The boat then sailed from Treasure Cays with 4 men on board. They never made it to Treasure Beach. That day was just not my day to die, as my friends keep on calling me to come inside the boat. But the business which I was dealing with was so important that I just tell them to leave me that day. Rose 58 said, from that day until today, none of those 4 guys nor the boat has been seen again, said Rose, whose 4 friends are among dozens of fishermen from the community who have been lost at sea. Successful fisherman. Rose said that the incident left him fearful of the sea. The one successful fisherman decided to throw down his net and head into the tourism business. The father of Cheese said he joined the tour operation subsector, which allowed him to take care of his family. He was doing well until COVID-19 arrived on Jamaica's shores and severely affected the tourism sector. Luckily, me and my girlfriend planned on rearing chickens in the same period that the COVID-19 broke out. We then launched out in raising boilers and layers and also do cash crops, farming on the side, he said. At first, things started out very slowly as the virus left the community of Treasure Beach without money and no one was buying chickens. So I was forced to buy two freezers to store chickens. Rose said that the chicken meat and eggs business has been seeing signs of growth. However, the recent heavy rainfall destroyed most of the vegetable farm, he said. His tomatoes, pak choy, cabbage and callaloo were destroyed by heavy rain and flood waters, and he is now trying his best to nurse what is left of his crop back to perfection. Anthony Morgan, 50, was homeless, sleeping on the roadside in Vineyard Town in St. Andrew, until Gladys Young, a woman who had no idea who he was, learned of his condition and offered him a place to stay for free. For the past 2 years, he had a roof over his head, thanks to Young. However, last Sunday, that roof caved in and collapsed on him while he was inside. While he narrowly escaped being bruised and crushed inside, Morgan yet again is homeless. The situation bad, man. The house tear down with me in there. Me can't believe it. Me need little help. Somebody, anybody, please. I don't have anywhere else to go. I can't pay for nowhere because I am not working at the moment. I am a chef. I did level 1 and level 2 at heart, but I have no work, Morgan said. Morgan, recalling the terrifying incident, recently said that he was at home in a safe space, sheltering from the rain, but trouble knocked on his door. As the rain pelted, he heard a lantern crack in the ceiling. Me never afraid. The whole roof tear right down and even mash up some of the things them inside. I was in there when the rain came down Sunday. Same time me hear the dog them outside a bark like them a try get me fi come out. Me never try to grab nothing. Me just run out. Me couldn't stop run. My bed mash up. Me did have to run out in the rain. Me never afraid. I had to run out around the back before anything lit me or before me get trapped inside. Me never did think about afraid or frightened. Me just run right out of the house. Morgan says he knows no relatives and is grateful that Young gave him somewhere to call home. As she helped me out and put me up and now the place tear down. Me never have nowhere to go. I don't have anyone. It's just me alone, he said. Young said that she was compelled to help Morgan when she heard his story. When my son was overseas, he didn't have anywhere to live. It was a friend of mine who helped him out. So I have to return the kindness to someone. And so he invited Morgan to live in a section of her house. I lived around the back and I let him stay at the front. I supposed to do some work on the whole premises, but there are some legal papers that need to be looked after. I wish someone can do something for him. Him try everything last time. Him do a lot of little work around the community to try and get some money. Him really try, she said of Morgan. Anyone who can assist Anthony Morgan may contact him at 876-812-0833. Now viewers and subscribers, now that we have come to the end of this newscast, I want you to like this video and please remember to hit that subscribe button and please turn on the notification bell. That way you will be notified when I upload a new video.